Here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy, but with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis Air. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
We've all seen the effects of wood smoke pollution this year, so before hosting that backyard bonfire, follow these simple tips to protect yourself, others, and the environment. Remember to give your neighbors a heads up before building a fire so those who find wood smoke bothersome can close their windows. Make sure to never burn wet or recently cut wood, other yard waste, plastic, or garbage. These things can be toxic when burned and create excess smoke. For more tips on how to burn responsibly, visit epa.gov/burnwise.
MIWRC is a proud supporter of Native Roots Radio. Looking for health insurance but not sure where to start? MIWRC has you covered. You can find discounts, compare private health plans, and see if you qualify for free or low-cost insurance plans. Plus, get help from an expert so you can save on the coverage you need. Enroll online by December 15th for coverage starting January 1st. Get started today at MNsure.org. That's MNsure.org.
November is Native American Heritage Month, a time to honor Indigenous history, art, and identity. At the Minneapolis Institute of Art, celebrate the contributions of Indigenous peoples across the Americas with programs and exhibitions that center around cultural resilience and deepen understanding through creative expression. MIA's month-long celebration includes free activities for the family, art making for adults, and a special showing of Smoke Signals, a story of friendship and healing. Celebrate, learn, and connect at the Minneapolis Institute of Art. Find full details and ways to participate at artsmia.org.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, clear with a low of 34, then Thursday, cloudy with a high of 53. Cafe Latte is unlike any restaurant you've ever experienced. Grab a tray and pick from their award-winning selections of soups, salads, sandwiches, and mouth-watering desserts. Cafe Latte, Victoria Street and Grand Avenue in St. Paul, or cafelatte.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be Indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut, hitting cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. A kadagi to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events, and as you know, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. Hey, we have our friend Ruth Anna Buffalo on with the Minneapolis Indian Women's Resource Center and former representative of North Dakota. And we're going to talk a little bit about Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center. But first, we can't help but talk about what happened last night. Thank you so much, Ruth, for coming on, as always. And Wendy and I were glued to the TV, and well, when it came to California, it seemed like only 30 minutes, and they had the results in right away with the Democrats gerrymandering and fighting back the orange one. Good, welcome.
Yeah, Matsugida, Dosha, thanks for having MIWRC on.
Definitely. And Wendy's here too, and Wendy will have a sacred animal section later, and we're just going to talk about kind of the fun stuff that happened last night. In Minneapolis, where Minneapolis Indian Women's Resource Center is, we ended up with Fry again for the third term, and you know, a lot of people, including myself, I don't live in Minneapolis, are a little upset about that. But we move on, and now we know who we're dealing with, and I guess we move on. And then in St. Paul, we have a new mayor, which is amazing. Melvin Carter was going for his third term, and we have a brand new mayor, Wendy.
Yes, her. She's the first woman ever and the first Hmong American mayor. So she beat the incumbent Melvin Carter. This is it was a surprise to me.
Mm-hmm.
This is great. I was a little worried going into yesterday. Because I was always, I'm worried about having fair and free elections, but it looked like people spoke and they talked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
blue wave happened. So.
And Ruth, I don't know if you know this, but Wendy and I have a place out in New York, not in the city, but in the state of New York, and we were very ecstatic and happy to see what happened for the mayor election in New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of new changes, and it's exciting to see everyday people or people who are fighting for everyday people be in those spaces. I think for far too long, our country has really lifted up or groomed, so to speak, a certain type of candidate that speaks a certain way, acts a certain way, and I think it's pretty cool to see a shift happening. But I also am concerned a little. I hope that that individual continues to get the support they need and deserve, because when you're not pegged to win and then you do win, it's interesting dynamics too within those spheres where you can face quite a bit of backlash or underhandedness, really petty politics that I can speak directly to because I have that lived experience. So, ting, just kidding.
Yeah, no, I get it, and I appreciate your perspective. That is a thing, definitely, Ruth Anna.
Yeah, for sure. So I think it would be good for politics, period, to not be as toxic or cutthroat, but hard to easier said than done. But I think politics really should. I guess that's what they say. Well, it's what you signed up for, comes with the territory. But I think there should be a shift where those kinds of things stop, where it's not continued mudslinging and poisonous behavior, because I think there really does need to be some studies looking at political landscape, looking at how electeds, how they fare, how does it impact their life expectancy? Because when I was in elected office, I really paid close attention to a lot of the Native women electeds around me. Some in Minneapolis or Minnesota that were city council members that have passed away, for different health conditions. And so I always, from a public health lens, it's interesting, and I think it is really testament and accurate, speaks to the truth and the heart of the matter of like how we treat one another has a direct impact on our health. So.
Wow, yeah, totally agree with that. And there's nothing like, lateral oppression is a thing too we talk about, and that happens in Indian country. I know I'm a former representative of Ho-Chunk Nation in our sovereign nation, and I didn't experience it firsthand because I think people were a little afraid of me, but I definitely saw it to other people that were there, and how toxic Facebook and things like that can be, Wendy.
Yeah, oh absolutely. And when you're under so much stress and you have so many expectations to live up to, when you have other people bringing you down, and you have cortisol levels in your body, swimming around, that causes so much damage to your body. And like Ruth Anna said, there should be studies done, like how stress, in politics, especially, can cause that.
Yeah.
And really there were, in women, so
Yeah.
I think have to have a really, really thick skin. You
Yeah.
really do. And I know it's harder for some than others, but yeah, having a thick skin is.
I did not have a thick. I did
you
not have a
can't-
thick skin.
You can't take to heart.
Yeah, I mean, hard not to, but yeah, I think it's still, I think when I was in, I think just we're in crazy times, and a lot of the cyberbullying or harassment, goes, there's a lot of room for improvements, and it's a confusing system, I think, when you think of how certain criminals or things are tracked, but yet others aren't, or even when you're why do we have missing and murdered, Indigenous persons, or missing and murdered, period. And so I think, there's just a lot of imbalances, I would say. So there's lots of room for growth and improvement. But I think I do feel for the electeds, especially in this day and age. It definitely seems very dangerous and toxic. So I hope that, and I've said it before on your show, that I just hope things de-escalate, or that they've already peaked and that they're just on their way down. But who knows? I mean, that's wishful thinking, like with the violence, whether it's physical or, words. But I think the community definitely needs to come together and support one another and find solutions, especially like something that's top of mind right now is the opioid unsheltered crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not from here, and have been very cognizant of saying that, even though I'm here 24/7, but because I'm not from here, or because I don't live here in the neighborhood, I don't have a right to speak to the issues, which is sad, but there's still that mindset out there, even with our neighboring orgs in this 4-block area. So I just hope that things improve and that people put their egos aside and really hold the electeds accountable too, because there's only so much the community can do. Of course, put public pressure, but we're not gatekeeping funds and resources too. So.
Wow, really, really great points, Ruth Anna Buffalo of Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center. And we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to get off the politics and talk more about the great things that you guys are doing next. This is Native Roots Radio, and we'll be right back.
Stay with us.
The Minneapolis Police Department is hiring, and we're looking for people ready to lead, serve, and reflect the communities we protect.
Whether you're a new graduate, changing careers, or already in law enforcement, there's a path for you to join our department.
With top-tier pay, full benefits, paid training, and a direct path to making a difference, this is more than a job. This is your chance to shape the future of Minneapolis Police.
Choose service. Choose leadership. Choose Minneapolis. Visit our city website to learn more.
Are you a Metro Transit rider? Join the free Riders Club and let your voice be heard. Our motto is Transit Voices United, and when you become a member, you'll participate more closely in decision-making, plus earn the opportunity for exclusive merchandise at Metro Transit events. Help improve your transit system. We value your opinion. Join at metrotransit.org/Riders Club and start being rewarded today. That's the Riders Club at metrotransit.org/Riders Club.
Discover Matrilineal Memory by hobby artist Michaela Schaefer, now in view at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. This evocative exhibition features paintings, poetry, and installations that explore memory and cultural preservation. Don't miss Artist Talk with Michaela Schaefer on Saturday, November 15th from 2 to 3:30 p.m. at the gallery. Matrilineal Memory is open through December 13th. Experience art that transforms memory into connections and healing. Details at allmyrelationsarts.org.
Thinking about college? Consider Minnesota Private Colleges. These 18 nonprofit institutions keep the focus on students with small classes and professors who will get to know you. You'll find students from all backgrounds, and no two colleges are alike. And when it comes to cost, they're more affordable than you think. Find the college that's right for you at mnprivatecolleges.org/possible. That's mnprivatecolleges.org/possible.
I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and I want to be your next United States Senator, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Hey, we're with Wendy and Ruth Anna Buffalo, and we're going to talk a little bit about Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center and what's happening there. Great to have you back on, Ruth. Let's talk about the great work that you and your organization have been doing for over 40 years and supporting our community, which, you know, until you became CEO, I really didn't know all the great things that Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center has done.
Yeah, you know, it's a beautiful organization, a pillar in the community, and does a lot for the community. And, you know, really thankful for the founders of Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center that came together 40 years ago to find a path forward, clear a path for American Indian women and their families. And a lot of good things are happening today.
Exactly. So do you want to run and talk a little bit about what's happening during the week here? Because I just think it's amazing. We have a lot of new listeners that listen to our show, and I think it's great. And then your grand opening of these new apartments and things that, you know, let's talk a little bit about that again.
Yes. So we provide a lot of direct services, and that's one thing that really drew me to MIWRC. I was a part of tribal coalitions for like 6 years, First Nations Women's Alliance in North Dakota, and then I was at a tribal college for 7 years, and I did a lot of different consultant work to raise awareness on the issues that are happening on the ground. But really, MIWRC, I remember stopping here when I was with the Not Invisible Act Commission, and we hosted field hearings across the country. And after a field hearing, we would then go do site visits at different orgs in the vicinity. And we stopped at MIWRC, and I remember thinking, like, this is the heart of everything, because this is where prevention happens. This is where healing happens. You know, sitting through numerous field hearings and hearing directly from victim survivors' families of the tragedies that they faced, you know, whether it was nobody listening to them, nobody taking them serious, a lack of, you know, rapid response from the various key stakeholders who you turn to for safety and protection. You know, there was a lot of failures within the systems, and what always was front and center was the need for healing and to be heard and to feel safe and protected and to continue using what our ancestors left behind for us. So really believe that MIWRC embodies that in a contemporary way. You know, like right now we have a sweat lodge happening in our South Courtyard. It started at 5 p.m. We'll have another sweat on November 21st. We just decided today we're going to have a community meeting Wednesday, November 19th at 6 p.m. And we're also going to have a component to it that really lifts up conflict resolution, because we understand that we're in really challenging times right now, and that we're all going through different things, and that we got to figure out a way to communicate with one another and not place blame on one another, because we're definitely seeing system failures, no matter the good work that has happened. So I say that, you know, to not discount any of the good work that has happened here, including our founders, including the predecessors. But what we're seeing right now in real time is a lack of resources, a lack of response time, and a population growth of our unsheltered out here in this 4-block area. And MIWRC continues to provide meals to the community, and we've received good feedback, you know, but like tonight I saw with my own eyes, finally, an outside group come in and give food out. But other people in the community don't realize that that happens, and then MIWRC gets blamed for the trash, or there's this false narrative that we are taking care of drug dealers and sex traffickers when that's not the case. So it's heavy stuff, but it's stuff that we're encountering every single day and trying to help keep our relatives alive, help get them connected to resources. We have a lot of strong partnerships in the community. We just had a beautiful training today for Narcan provided by NAC, but for some reason, it's just there's a lot of resistance and a lot of finger pointing to the issues that have been longstanding in the community. And so I would just ask everybody to give each other grace and take courage and have one-on-one conversations with people. But I saw it with my own eyes, and staff have reported it also that outside groups come in to our parking lot and disperse items to the unsheltered, but then MIWRC gets the blame for trash and X, Y, and Z out there. So it's an interesting thing to navigate right now in this day and age.
Oh, wow. Well, we're really sad to hear that, and putting
it
tobacco
sounds
out
like
there.
the outside groups are trying to help, but they're not, they're not finishing up their work. So before they leave, they need to clean up.
Or use another parking lot, for goodness
Yeah,
sakes.
go down.
Right. And so it's like unintentionally, kind of backfiring on MIWRC. I mean, our staff have gotten yelled at by people in the neighborhood saying, since you guys are taking care of drug dealers, you better be out here picking up their trash. And we definitely are not taking care of drug dealers. We want the crime to stop. So I'm actually going to be staying here overnight and doing my own patrol out here, because it's just, I've tried to thrown everything, in the mix, or trying to find solutions. So, and now I'm being told I can't even speak to the issues because I don't live here in the community and I'm not from here. So it's been a rough time. It's like frustrating.
Yeah, it sounds very frustrating. And I hope that you have some help there, people who are staying there overnight with you, because it's more than a one-woman job, I'd say.
Well, Ruth Anna, I believe too that we probably should let you go, because I really feel for you, and I want to put some tobacco out for you, and I don't think these negative Nancys have any warrant to say any of those things to you or to your organization.
That's
and I just
right.
want to say that, and you've been nothing but all heart here in the Twin Cities, and these people saying that you're not from here don't realize that, that's a colonized statement.
Yes.
One, and two, we have no borders. So what do you mean you're not from here?
It's just, I want to say stupid talk, you just, yeah.
But, you and our listeners, we all pray for you and know how you take care of things. And please, I want you to take care of yourself, and we're going to excuse you right now, but we really, really appreciate you. And we know you are a warrior here for all people, and the other crap is just crap, and don't let it get you down. You are a true leader, and we appreciate how you feel and how you feel for our community in a good way.
Like you said, Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center is a pillar in the community.
Yeah. So, okay. Wow. Really?
Yeah, it's hard stuff, I mean, it's hard. It's discouraging, and it's you're doing the best work that you possibly can, and it's stressful, and you're getting it from all sides. So it's really hard. I hope that Ruth Anna is able to take a deep breath and maybe go sit somewhere, maybe listen to music or whatever, just to bring yourself back around, because it's hard.
Well, I like what Jana put up there, and I wish I would have saw this while Ruth was still on. It says, well, my neighborhood from 26th to 29th and 14th to 15th are thrilled with and so supportive of you and your work. Contact me anytime if you need any neighbors to help advocate for you. This horrible news. Happy to help.
Yeah.
So I'm going to forward that to Ruth Anna.
Thank you for that message.
Yes, really. And and then sending much love. We don't ever want to put anybody in that situation on this show. It's hard because words have meaning and hurt.
Absolutely. When you're trying to do good work and move forward, and you have people trying to beat you down, it's really very, very hard. It's very, very difficult.
Yeah.
Very difficult. It really is.
I know.
I've had times in my life that, I've had people, put me down and bully and all that. You just,
yeah. Well, we're a minute away from break, and again, nobody deserves that.
No, absolutely.
And our prayers are out for Ruth Anna Buffalo and Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center that has been around for 40 years. Like we talked
and
about,
does
Wendy.
like amazing work. Yeah. So
it's
bad day. That's all.
Yeah, and I'm gonna forward that message, Jenna, to her right now. So I really appreciate that. I'm gonna text her, Ruth Ann Buffalo. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and Wendy and I are gonna hold down the show, not hold it down, but bring it up. I don't know what we are going to resume and talk a little bit more about what happened last night, and then I know you got a sacred animal section.
Yeah, I do.
Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and we'll be right back.
Stay with us.
Thinking about college? Consider Minnesota private colleges. These 18 nonprofit institutions keep the focus on students with small classes and professors who will get to know you. You'll find students from all backgrounds, and no two colleges are alike. And when it comes to cost, they're more affordable than you think. Find the college that's right for you at mnprivatecolleges.org/possible. That's mnprivatecolleges.org/possible.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
MIWRC is a proud supporter of Native Roots Radio. Looking for health insurance but not sure where to start? MIWRC has you covered. You can find discounts, compare private health plans, and see if you qualify for free or low-cost insurance plans. Plus, get help from an expert so you can save on the coverage you need. Enroll online by December 15th for coverage starting January 1st. Get started today at MNsure.org. That's MNsure.org.
We've all seen the effects of wood smoke pollution this year, so before hosting that backyard bonfire, follow these simple tips to protect yourself, others, and the environment. Remember to give your neighbors a heads up before building a fire so those who find wood smoke bothersome can close their windows. Make sure to never burn wet or recently cut wood, other yard waste, plastic, or garbage. These things can be toxic when burned and create excess smoke. For more tips on how to burn responsibly, visit epa.gov/burnwise. Are you a Metro Transit rider? Join the free Riders Club and let your voice be heard. Our motto is Transit Voices United, and when you become a member, you'll participate more closely in decision-making, plus earn the opportunity for exclusive merchandise at Metro Transit events. Help improve your transit system. We value your opinion. Join at metrotransit.org/Riders Club and start being rewarded today. That's the Riders Club at metrotransit.org/Riders Club.
The Minneapolis Police Department is hiring, and we're looking for people ready to lead, serve, and reflect the communities we protect.
Whether you're a new graduate, changing careers, or already in law enforcement, there's a path for you to join our department.
With top-tier pay, full benefits, paid training, and a direct path to making a difference, this is more than a job. This is your chance to shape the future of Minneapolis police.
Choose service. Choose leadership. Choose Minneapolis. Visit our city website to learn more.
Discover Matrilineal Memory by hobby artist Michaela Schaefer, now in view at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. This evocative exhibition features paintings, poetry, and installations that explore memory and cultural preservation. Don't miss the Artist Talk with Michaela Schaefer on Saturday, November 15th from 2 to 3:30 p.m. at the gallery. Matrilineal Memory is open through December 13th. Experience art that transforms memory into connections and healing. Details at allmyrelationsarts.org.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, clear with a low of 34, then Thursday, cloudy with a high of 53. The Children's Theater Company's presentation of The Enormous Crocodile is getting ready to slither on out, so don't miss your chance to see the U.S. debut of Roald Dahl's Mischievous Tale. This wild musical adventure only runs through November 23rd, and tickets are going fast. Get them today at childrenstheater.org.
Oh, this is Dallas Goldtooth, and you're listening to the Native Roots Radio. Hoka, hicha, waicha.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Native Roots Radio, and it's the day after a blue wave, Wendy.
The blue tsunami, the blue wave, yeah. Everybody's posting pictures of a blue wave, and I was like, oh, wow, that's a nice ocean picture. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's why. So somebody put up, I want to just say this, this entire presidency, and presidency is under quotation marks. This entire presidency is like being tied to a chair and watching a toddler play with a loaded pistol. And I had to laugh, and I had to write that down, and I just had to say to myself, yeah, that's why what happened yesterday. We have a lot of good news. One of the things I want to say that I'm really impressed with, what Democratic Erica Dusso won her mayoral race in Downingtown, Pennsylvania, in Chester County last night, beating Republican challenger Richard Bryant and becoming the first state's out trans mayor. Wonderful. Like, I mean, the list goes on. It really is like unbelievable. Virginia House of Delegates, Democrats have flipped 13 seats in Virginia's House of Delegates, including 7 Republican safe seats held by the GOP for over 40 years. People are tired. People are coming out. They're just, they're just really just mad.
I just want to respond to Jana. Get a hold of us. You said you're going to come. You're coming from San Pueblo for Native Rise, and get a hold of us, and then we'd love to introduce you to Ruth Anna. And so I appreciate all the positive response that you're giving us here. So get a hold of us at AM 950 Native Roots Radio at gmail.com. So that's awesome. And again, yay, Virginia, that's amazing.
Yes.
I got to say one thing too. We were watching MSNBC and you were getting your artwork ready for your art show. I think it's gonna be a big art show, but I really liked what AOC said.
Yeah.
And I'll kind of paraphrase it, and you can probably help me, but she was asked, and I really feel like mainstream media is like all about, let's separate these Democrats, the progressives and non-progressives and blah, blah, blah. And what she said was that, it's great. We all have to fight fascism, and that's a thing that we have to do. But also, she wouldn't win in a blue state like Kentucky or whatever that, but they have people there that will win. So it's different in every state.
Yeah.
And the representation, and it's not going to be the same, and the same feelings and the same things that they're going to be for, and so it's different, but the same. And I think they want to really separate the Democrats, especially, what we had happen here in Minneapolis was a lot of progressive people were going up against the mayor there, and they ended up losing. And it's not about that. It's about let's get back to being civil to each other and work out our differences and let people live.
Let people live. That's what I like. That's what I like. But Mom Donnie.
Yes.
I'm happy.
Yeah, wait, let
New
me get
York
this.
City.
Let me get this up there.
Yep. You know, Cuomo had like big PAC money from all these different people, like millions and millions of dollars.
Well,
and it just goes to show you.
Well, and
grassroots, man, grassroots.
This guy came from nowhere, and he went to all the places that and I think the Democratic Party should look at this too. They went to all the places that normally you wouldn't go to, or the experts would tell you to go to, and he went to the grassroots. He talked to everybody.
Yeah, he's
the
talked to
GLBT community. Started right there, where a lot of the Democrats, the limousine liberals, as they say, are too stuck in their ways. And this guy, 34 years old, went to the people.
Yep.
Charismatic speaker, but went to the people, and what he's going to try and fix. Let's get healthcare there. Let's start it off.
Right.
We love New York
Let's
City.
make it more affordable. Nobody can afford to live there.
I know.
It's crazy. Yeah, but his opponents, Mamdani's opponents, got $8 million from Bloomberg, $3 million from Airbnb founder, $3 million from Estee Lauder. I don't buy their cosmetics anyway because they test on animals.
Thank you.
$2 million from Bill Ackman, $1 million from DoorDash. Come on, DoorDash.
Do better.
$200,000 from Walmart's heiress.
So what is that? Those are all the Walmarts that are still alive.
He didn't just beat Andrew Cuomo. He beat the elite.
Yeah. And then look at the last minute, Elon Musk, Trump, and that little Hitler guy all endorsed him the next morning. And I like what Trump said too. He goes, well, they only come out to vote when I'm running. And it's like, no, they gave you a big kiss.
I know.
A big kiss after this, all these voters. A big shout out to California.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Seriously.
Well,
so
they
New
didn't
York,
vote for
Virginia, New Jersey, California.
New Jersey, that was awesome.
Oh, and what else? Okay. Deep Red, Mississippi.
Yes.
Deep Red, Mississippi flipped 2 legislative seats. That was not expected.
Yeah.
So the Republicans do not have the supermajority any longer.
Yeah.
Deep Mississippi.
Some stuff. Yeah.
Like, people are crazy. And then Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson.
Oh, come on.
Please, he comes on and he says, what happened last night was blue states and blue cities voted blue. We all saw that coming. And then they're saying, no, sorry, Mike, but the Democrats flipped 2 statewide seats in red Georgia, flipped 2 legislative seats in red Mississippi, breaking the Republican supermajority, and ran the table in purple Virginia. But whatever you got to tell yourself, whatever you have to tell yourself, we've switched on Fox News last night because we have to see what the other people are watching, because we just do. And I was like, oh my God, they're like backpedaling. They're trying to tell themselves that there's a reason, a reason why this happened. And
well, they might have been blue states, but now they're dark blue by the amount of people.
Exactly.
And in the exit polls, the 18-year-olds, the Gen Zs, have come back to the Democratic Party because they can't afford anything.
I know.
That's the whole thing. And I remember when Clinton ran for president, it's all about the economy, stupid, is what they told him. And that's, the economy is hurting everybody, Gen Z to senior citizens to people with 3 kids, and not to mention our relatives that are on SNAP. And how many of our guests that we've had on that are on weekly have said, I was on SNAP.
Yes,
that
at a
helped
time
me
in my life where I was struggling, and that support helped me. And now I am where I am today because of that help. So, yeah.
What else you got there, Wendy?
Well, I
You
got
some
Stephen,
notes there.
Stephen Miller.
Oh, God, that's the little Nazi
guy, yeah. So he responds to Zoran's Mandami's win by threatening to deport children and tear families apart. Of course, that's what he has to do.
That's your response.
So minutes after, that went over. So that, I think that's kind of like with Ruth Anna Buffalo is kind of saying that, we have these great people who are really smart and now they're leaders and they're just going to be threatened by, they're going to be all just, they're going to come at, they're going to come at them. But you know what? They're going to stay strong and do the right thing.
Well, one of the things that's really happened here is just unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
So much every day. And every day we there's times I didn't, when Biden was president or even when Obama was president or other presidents, I never even thought about the president.
I know.
Every day I'm going, what did this idiot do? And that's stressful, and that's stuff that really
exactly
that's stuff that really gets to you deep down. It's a dark cloud over your head, and you don't realize it because it becomes every day.
Every day, it's just relentless. It really is. So, Trump had a meeting this morning with senators.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and he threw some of the reporters out.
Oh,
yeah, he really did.
Not the Fox.
Yeah. So
reporters.
According to this one reporter, he's from Punch Bowl News. It doesn't sound like it's very legitimate, but anyway, he got kicked
What's in
out.
the Punch Bowl?
Right,
He got kicked
exactly.
out.
But he said Republican senators spilled the details of the private post-breakfast meeting after ordering reporters out of the room. Trump said that the election results, which went overwhelmingly well for Democrats, proved that the ongoing government shutdown is worse for us than for them. Like he admitted it, He said that Republicans are getting killed. And if they don't nuke the filibuster, they'll end up a dead party.
Well, they do not want to get rid of the filibuster because it'll be used against them too. So in years ahead. So
yeah,
that was one of the, what is it, the junior whip or out of the Senate said, the Republican. I can't remember.
Well,
his
anyway,
name.
you know what? Yesterday was really giving me really
you felt
optimistic. I really felt good. My heart was beating a little. I was like a little happy.
Yeah.
But it gives me hope for November 2026. What's going to happen? Because what's going to happen? There's going to be another blue wave.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're going to take over the Senate. We're going to take over the House.
Yeah.
And we're going to impeach him.
And
we're going to get rid of him.
Yeah.
We're going to indict him. He's going to go to jail.
And all his crew.
He's not going to have another. That's it. And you know what?
Just remember,
people have short memories.
Nixon didn't go to prison. His attorney generals did. Attorney general did. So let's get all the people around him because he's not going to be around. And we can see that this is a paper tiger. Trump is only. He's the only thing that's keeping this whole MAGA thing going. He disappears.
Yeah.
In people like, Marjorie and all those clowns that are going to.
Marjorie Taylor Greene finally stepped up and realized that he's an idiot. And
she wants to
you know
keep
what?
her-
I
she
think
wants to
she's
keep
hearing
her-
a lot from her constituents because she
Right.
said to him, my constituents are screaming at me because they're losing their health care costs are going up. They're losing their SNAP benefits. They can't buy groceries. They're losing their federal jobs. And she's hearing it. And she's listening finally to the people instead of being cray-cray.
Hey, well, let's swing back to Native Roots Radio and do our sacred animals portion next. What do you say?
I have some fun stuff.
Everyone get ready to
Fun
howl
stuff.
and do the grizzly bear. Like, hey, boo-boo, let's get some picnic baskets. Hey, we'll be right back. Native Roots Radio with Wendy.
Stay with us.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis Air. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
MIWRC is a proud supporter of Native Roots Radio. Looking for health insurance but not sure where to start? MIWRC has you covered. You can find discounts, compare private health plans, and see if you qualify for free or low-cost insurance plans. Plus, get help from an expert so you can save on the coverage you need. Enroll online by December 15th for coverage starting January 1st. Get started today at MNsure.org. That's MNsure.org.
November is Native American Heritage Month, a time to honor Indigenous history, art, and identity. At the Minneapolis Institute of Art, celebrate the contributions of Indigenous peoples across the Americas with programs and exhibitions that center around cultural resilience and deepen understanding through creative expression. MIA's month-long celebration includes free activities for the family, art making for adults, and a special showing of Smoke Signals, a story of friendship and healing. Celebrate, learn, and connect at the Minneapolis Institute of Art. Find full details and ways to participate at artsmia.org.
The Minneapolis Police Department is hiring, and we're looking for people ready to lead, serve, and reflect the communities we protect.
Whether you're a new graduate, changing careers, or already in law enforcement, there's a path for you to join our department.
With top-tier pay, full benefits, paid training, and a direct path to making a difference, this is more than a job. This is your chance to shape the future of Minneapolis Police.
Choose service. Choose leadership. Choose Minneapolis. Visit our city website to learn more.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
In this portion of the show, we like to bring awareness to our wolf and bear populations. Say no to the hunts.
Oh, no. Hey, boo-boo, let's go get some picnic baskets. Hey, Wendy, before I introduce you, can I just say this? Tomorrow, Winter Love at Minneapolis Institute of Art. I'll be emceeing this. It's Rihanna Yazzi's film. Tickets are free, and there's also a whole bunch of stuff going on there. We got the Tricksters Tacos there. We have some of our art, and we got the Nizzy Games. There's going to be there for sale, and then also there's some like music going on too.
What time?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock at the Minneapolis Institute of Art. You have to register though.
Yeah, to get in the movie, but if you go there, you probably can do it on your phone. You know, and there's 280 seats, and
it's
so
free.
And
you check it out. It's gonna be awesome.
It is going to be awesome. And then later on, we got Ajawak with Indian Horse, and then Smoke Signals.
What are the dates on those?
The 23rd at 2 p.m. for Ajawak, and he'll be doing the Q&A along with me and Indian Horse. And then Smoke Signals is the 29th, and also at 2 p.m.
Yep.
And that's going to have Dr. Evan Adams there,
who played Thomas on Smoke Signals.
I can't wait to meet him.
I know.
Seriously.
It's awesome.
Hey, Victor.
Seriously. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I did do it, didn't
Robert, you know, I every year, I think a lot of people know this, but I'm a little crazy, but I go outside and I set up heated little houses for the animals outside. Because we had a couple of possums one year, and they were very cold, so they're not warm-blooded, so they can't retain heat, and they get frostbite. And
they're not from here.
No, they're not. They hang them up on food trucks and stuff from the South. But anyway, I set up these little heated houses. So last year or the year before that, I built my own. So you get one of those big totes that you put stuff in, storage totes, and then you get styrofoam and you insulate it, and then you buy hay to insulate it again, and then you buy the heater. And by the time I figure it out, all this money I'm spending on all the supplies, and then the time it's going to take me to make this, I just went online and bought, it's like a cat house, and it's insulated, and it has a heater in it, and it costs actually less money than it would have if I bought all the parts to make it on my own. But anyway, so I was excited about setting this up, and it took me, just no time at all to build the thing. It's called Claw something, the brand. But anyway, it's a heated cat house.
Don't say their name unless they advertise. Oh,
so I plugged that in. I plugged in the water dishes so they don't freeze. And then we have that other standing house that has like it's like a standing garden, and I put a tarp over it, and it has a heating element in it. It's like a pad, and it's an outdoor pad for outdoor animals that heats up.
What are we having for dinner tonight?
I have no idea. But anyway, I put straw in there and whatever. But anyway, listen, I went back to the cat house last night because the straw came. I ordered straw.
Yeah.
And straw is really the best thing to put in there because blankets retain moisture in the cold and actually could freeze the animals if you used like blankets and stuff. So straw is like the best thing to use. So I went out there. It has like a little escape route and a window that I could look in this little cat house. So anyway, I went in to put the straw because I figured whoever's going to be in there, whatever. I opened it up. Of course, there's nobody in there, but there was a few little mouse poops.
How do you know they were mouse poops?
Well, it looked like mouse poops.
They were like teeny
tiny little. It looked like little seeds from your bread. Little mouse poop. So I said to myself, listen, I'd rather have the mice out here in the warmth and have them live out here than in my house. So I don't care who uses it and who gets warmth from it. If it's supposed to get really cold this weekend. And our winters, it's ridiculous. It gets like 20 below. Anyway, they're all little animals. They all have little heartbeats and feelings. They all feel scared and hungry and sad and whatever. So anyway, I don't care who uses it. If a mouse uses it, I'm happy as long as somebody uses it.
Mm-hmm.
But I found this article. I think I've talked about this before, but this is in the 1990s. This is from a long time ago, right? How many years ago is that?
Well, I used to thought it was like 20 years ago, but it's almost 40 now.
I know. So anyway, scientists made a surprising discovery. Not mice, but rats. But I think rats laugh. And, I've had friends who've had rats as pets and they just love these rats. Like they're like, I have 7 rats. I went to pharmacy school with a friend who had 7 rats. And she said they all had different personalities and they all were like super smart. Like she taught a couple of them to like have a little rat-sized basketball and put it in a basketball hoop and sit down and sit like a dog and it would get a treat and like go in and out of little did a lot of things. But anyway, these scientists made a surprising discovery that rats laugh when they play or are tickled. They produce high-pitched ultrasonic sounds that reveal genuine enjoyment. These playful interactions strengthen their emotional bonds, and they often seek out their playmates again, eager to repeat the experience. Beyond simple reactions, rats can recall past moments, plan future routes, and even show signs of regret when they make poor decisions. And for decades, research has also shown that rats are deeply empathetic. Listen to this. Mm-hmm. In classic experiments, they refuse to press a lever for food if doing so caused another rat to receive an electric shock.
Wow.
Choosing hunger over harming a companion. That's amazing. Seriously, that really is.
Wow.
Yeah. Later studies revealed that they would work tirelessly to free others trapped in tubes or help those in distress, acting faster if they had experienced the same suffering themselves. Their behavior reflects compassion that many once thought belonged only to humans. That's amazing. Really. Seriously, that they'd rather not get the food if it was going to shock their friend.
How did they start the Black Plague? Wasn't that the rats and the poop?
It was the rats, but I think it was the ticks on the rats.
Oh,
anyway,
okay, sorry.
Yet despite their emotional depths, rats continue to be used for painful laboratory experiments. The irony is striking. We recognize that they think, feel, and empathize in ways similar to us, yet justify their suffering as necessary for human benefit. Yeah, I'm not into any of the animal experiments.
Mhm.
I have a app on my phone that I talked about a lot. It's
Yeah.
called Cruelty Cutter.
You haven't talked about it in a long
I
time.
haven't.
Bring it
Cruelty
up.
Cutter. So it's a free app. I have it on my iPhone. And when I go to the store and I want to buy a lipstick, a shampoo, hairspray, whatever, I scan the barcode and it'll tell me whether the item or the product was tested on animals.
Mhm.
And I won't buy that product if, I don't want to use a mascara that was put in a bunny's eye,
Right.
So I really use it a lot and I won't buy stuff like that. Now, the thing that upsets me is that animals are tested in, for medications,
Yeah.
for vaccines,
Dogs,
for,
beagles.
all kinds of stuff like that. And it's really heart-wrenching, but I'll still get my flu shot. I still get the COVID vaccine.
Mhm.
And we're fighting, to end experimentation on animals. But what I really just wanted to say was that, even the smallest little being has a gentle soul and deserves to live. And if we could help it out, I'm going to help it out with my cat house outside. And I'm going to give him a little straw. Maybe I'll give him one of those wheels he could run around in.
Right
I'll
on.
put one out there and a camera so I could watch him.
Hey, Native Roots Radio. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, Wendy, and thanks, Ruth Ann of Buffalo. Ho!
Are you a Metro Transit rider? Join